What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and tonight I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers just finished their Week 8 matchup of the 2025 NFL season. Sunday Night Football in primetime, Aaron Rodgers going against his old team, the Green Bay Packers. We've heard about it all week long. It's been in the news and the media. Rodgers against his old team, Jordan Love, successor of Rodgers. Everybody wanted to see this game happen in Green Bay to see the Rodgers reaction, but it was here in Pittsburgh. Steelers play Green Bay tonight. I'm going to make this one quick because I'm tired. Last week, I told you guys that I pay now $105 a month to watch this team, and I expressed my discontent at paying that much money to watch this team play as badly as they did. This week, I will give you guys a new POV, and I'll tell you guys that my fantasy football quarterback in one of my leagues, Matthew Stafford, was on a bye week this week. So who did I pick up to score the most points because I knew this quarterback was going to have a great week and destroy the team he's playing against? Jordan Love. I picked up the Green Bay Packers quarterback on fantasy football free agency because I knew that the Packers were going to go ahead, just like last week with Flacco and the Bengals, that Love was going to have a field day against this defense, hoping I was wrong, wishing I was wrong, hoping I was going to lose. But Jordan Love went crazy because Pittsburgh's defense once again absolutely crapped the bed. I mean, couldn't have been any worse this week, in the second half at least. This game feels like a tale of two halves. Pittsburgh comes out in the first half, plays pretty solid on defense, comes out, gets a stop early on. Pittsburgh drives the field, a couple of nice long Boswell field goals, get a lot of solid drives going, but then get a negative play, whether it's a penalty or a sack, and then kind of stall out and kick a long field goal, and Boswell is very reliable, so we're getting good drives stalled by one or two negative plays that result in field goals, but at least we're scoring, and we're holding Green Bay. And then we come out, Calvin Austin, who returned, welcome back Calvin Austin, from injury, came out and got one nice little short kind of bubble screen play, and then also drew a pass interference. DK Metcalf goes down, catches a nice underneath route, and then gets in the end zone, boxes a guy out, and uses his muscle to get a nice box out touchdown. So Pittsburgh starts to really control the game early on. Penalty by TJ Watt almost gets Green Bay back in field goal range at the end of the first half, but they missed the field goal. So Pittsburgh's got a nice little lead there. It's like a 9-point lead for the Steelers, and we get the ball to start the second half. And we're like, okay, we're feeling really good. We can run our big tight ends, extra linemen, kind of rushing attack. Jaylen Warren was playing pretty well. Gainwell was doing okay as the second back. So we had some nice things going for us. The control was there. Pittsburgh's kind of methodical offense was making sense to start the second half. And then all of a sudden, a couple of crazy things just happened. Number one, it's a third down play. A guy, Micah Parsons, I guess it was one of the Packers, obviously jumps off sides. So Rodgers draws the guy off, snaps the ball, throws it downfield, incomplete. The refs don't call flag. They show a very obvious replay where the guy jumped off sides. The refs even talked about it and thought about it and still said no flag. So a really bad call there. But again, we gave up 35 points in this game. People saying the refs screwed us and they're the reason we lost? No. That one play was a momentum swing. It was a big deal, and it really was a bad call by the refs. But one call did not give up 35 points to this team. One call did not have 15 missed tackles. One call did not allow 20 straight completions by the Packers. That is our defense. That being said, the next series, Jordan Love comes out and throws a ball up in the air, just tosses it up. He got pressured by, I think, Highsmith or Herbig. Tosses it up in the air. Our corners couldn't locate the ball. This was happening all night. 3 or 4 different times, Jordan Love just threw it up in the air, and our guys couldn't find it. The Packers went up and located the ball better than us. Us locating the ball was an issue all night. And Tucker Kraft caught a ball, and he broke about 4 tackles on one play to get about a 60-yard gain, and then all of a sudden, the momentum was entirely on Green Bay's side. They scored in all 5 of their second-half possessions to overrun a pretty good Pittsburgh first half and blow us out, essentially. We did get a garbage time touchdown, but the final score was 35-25. Again, after giving up 33 points to the Bengals last week, we give 35 up to the Packers. Once again, we scored 25 points in a decent offensive effort, but there's no chance to play shootouts against these quarterbacks and these top-level offenses. We have a lot to talk about here, so I will get into it, but I'll start with stats here, and we'll kind of just go over some of the many things we have to change on this team. Aaron Rodgers, once again, these numbers on offense are inflated by the last drive or so. When the game was already over, they were up by 16. We got a nice last drive to score a touchdown. All in all, Rodgers, 24 of 36 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Not bad numbers. Like I said, one of those good drives and touchdowns came in garbage time to Roman Wilson. Basically, Rodgers didn't look, not as out of sync as he looked last week at times. Wound up, finding himself in the second half. In this game, he looked a bit out of sync in terms of like adapting to the blitz. Green Bay did get 3 sacks on us, but all 3 of those sacks kind of feel like a weird combination because they weren't like sacks off the edge. One was a Micah Parsons sack off the edge that one of the, I guess, either Washington or Spencer Anderson chipped, and then Broderick Jones gave up. But the other ones were Rodgers stepping up in the pocket and kind of like panicking a little bit. He was holding the ball a little too long, trying to find guys to get open. And then the second level of the defensive line got pushed back. So while there wasn't a ton of initial edge pressure by the Packers, there was a lot of clogged lines. The pocket was never clean. The lines were always clogged. So and again, these plays were kind of longer. They were longer sacks. So it's a combination of Rodgers holding the ball too long, receivers not getting open on their plays, on their routes, and our offensive line not giving Rodgers a clean enough pocket. A few of those times he made some plays out of it, but 3 of those times he did get sacked. Running the ball, pretty solid, but we were giving up a lot of points, especially in the second half, so we got away from the running game. Jalen Warren, 13 carries for 62 yards. That's 4.8 yards per carry. Pretty solid. Again, he's taking negative plays and turning them into 3-yard plays, 3-yard plays and turning them into 10-yard plays. He's just a hard-nosed guy that picks a hole, is decisive, can cut and make guys miss, and can run through guys and finish plays. He ran 2 guys over tonight to get first downs. The dude is just all heart. He's one of my favorite guys to watch, not only on this team, but in the NFL. I just love watching this guy make little plays feel like big plays. He's got a nice combination of speed and power. Kenneth Gainwell, not bad out of the backfield tonight, but did fumble on a pass reception. Caught a little a dump-off pass and fumbled it. So that's going to get Gainwell a negative mark for the night in spite of having a couple good carries as well. But again, we got behind in the second half and started having to throw the ball a little more. The dink and dunk offense does not work when you're behind and when the other team knows you've got to pass. Roman Wilson leads the way tonight. I mentioned last week that he really stepped up in his limited amount of targets. He did the same this week. He's still not getting enough, but much like Ladd for the last 2 years up until this season, I've been beating the drum for Calvin Austin and saying what a chance this guy deserves because every time he gets an opportunity, he makes those contested catches and those big plays. This year, now that Calvin is established as being the number 2 guy and being the constant starter, I'm beating the drum for Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson tonight on 5 targets had 4 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown. One of those was on the very first series. Rodgers bombed a ball down the field. Roman Wilson did a nice wheel route, got himself open, turned around, got the defender to fall down, made a nice toe tap catch on the sidelines. Beautiful. Nice connection to Rodgers. Biggest offensive play of the first half for us for Roman Wilson. And then in the second half, he made another nice short out route catch and then got down open in the end zone. Rodgers lofted it down, trying to hurry up and get a score back. Roman Wilson goes one-on-one, catches the ball. Ball was knocked out after a 3 steps. Roman catches the ball. Strong hands catch away from his body, using his hands to hold that ball. It got knocked out after the fact. Initially was called not a touchdown, and then was reviewed expeditedly and called a touchdown. So Wilson gets a nice big bomb downfield, also a nice contested touchdown, and 2 short plays as well, 4 for 74. Every time Rodgers gives this guy a chance, he goes and makes the most of it. He needs to be in there a little more often, especially if you're going to be playing these shootouts and you can't afford to run 3 tight ends and small chunk plays. You got to get downfield more. So Roman Wilson is a guy that deserves more time on the field. DK Metcalf, our second lead receiver tonight, 5 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Had that nice box out touchdown on like the third or fourth drive of the game. Other than that, not a whole lot going his way. There was 1 or 2 that he got open on that Rodgers missed them because of pressure. Packers did a nice job getting pressure. Like I said, not any like initial major rushes off the edge, but just clogging the middle of the line. Our inside guys had a harder time tonight, especially when Isaac Seumalo got hurt. Offensive line, so overall I give a plus/minus because the running game was doing okay. In the first half, when things were under control, the line played decently, but they did allow a lot of clogging and a lot of like elongated sacks. Again, partially on the receivers, partially on Rodgers, but the line still allowed 3 sacks. And once Seumalo got hurt, Spencer Anderson, who's usually the 6th guy, who caught a pass today, they gave him one pass for 4 yards. Spencer Anderson turned from the swing guy, the swing tackle, the extra man on the line, to playing the position Sayamalu plays. So the line was shorthanded and couldn't do the stuff they usually do either. So Sayamalu's got to get healthy. But overall, kind of an up and down day for the line. Definitely not their best work, especially out of the last couple of weeks. Defensively, that's where it all falls apart. I will say, this scheme, the whole idea of like, we got all these big physical veterans now so we can blitz and run man coverage, that doesn't work. Because number one, the older guys we have out there, nothing against Ramsey tonight, it wasn't like a bad game for Ramsey, but JPJ is going to get some holding penalties, and Darius Slay looks cooked. He's had 2 good games so far out of the 7 that we've played. He's had two really impressive games, but the other 5 have been terrible. Darius Slay looks cooked. He looks old. He looks slow. He's missing tackles. He's fading back in zones. He's getting pushed out on coverage. He's not locating the ball fast enough. I don't know what's going on, but the guys we have back there are not able to stay in man long enough to make the man coverage scheme work. Number 2, when you do man coverage, you got to get your blitzes in there. You got to get to the quarterback, and we're not doing that at all, so that's not working. So what do? They go to zone. Their soft zone is garbage because the slot guys are having a hard time covering. The inside linebackers can't cover anybody, so the slot guys, and especially the tight ends, once again, every single week I say the tight ends kill us. They've been killing us for 3 consecutive years. Every year we bring in 2 or 3 new inside linebackers to be coverage guys. Signed Patrick Queen to all this money. Drafted Peyton Wilson. They can't cover tight ends. Tucker Kraft had like 150 or 160 and 2 touchdowns tonight. He was walking down there on his own. Nobody could cover him. So when you can't play man because your guys are slow and old, and you can't get the blitz on the man coverage because your guys can't get enough pressure, and you can't play zone because your soft zone is aligned wrong, and then your guys can't cover the slots, and the outside guys are playing too far, too shallow as well. So nothing about our defense works. That's what happens. You give 35 points up. Jordan Love tonight had 390 yards and I think, 4 touchdowns? 3 or 4? 390 tonight, and had 20 consecutive completions. He only had 2 incompletions toward the end because he threw the ball away to avoid pressure on purpose. 20 consecutive completions. The man was like 28 of 35 tonight. You can't beat anybody like that. If a quarterback can sit back there and throw 20 consecutive passes on you, it means you need more pressure, you need better coverage. We are failing on every level of this defense. We'll talk further. No sacks tonight. No sacks tonight. Hey, TJ, where you at? You're getting paid $90 million, bud. Where you at? I'm paying $105 a month. Can I send you the check? Alex Highsmith. I think he had 3 tackles tonight. That impressive offensive line. Our leading tackler tonight for the whole defense. Our leading tackler, especially around the line of scrimmage, Cam Hayward, 4 tackles. 4 solo, 3 assisted. Only person with four solo tackles on the team tonight. Where are these guys at? What is happening here? The 2 guys that I gave like plus/minuses, that I gave some positive marks to, Peyton Wilson and Jalen Ramsey. Peyton Wilson did miss 1 tackle, and we'll talk missed tackles because that's a big theme on this defense. Peyton Wilson overall, though, was the most consistent guy at getting to the ball, was the best in the run game overall. He was just the most present. He's quick at rallying, and even though he's not a very good cover guy, he's the best kind of linebacker coverage guy we have out of the 4. That's not saying much, but I do think Wilson's been all over the field these last couple games, and I thought even though he did miss 1 big tackle, he wasn't as egregious as the other guys were, so the bar's getting lower, but Wilson did play okay tonight. Jalen Ramsey also does bring just, again, that firepower. You can see the veteran leadership, you can see the hits and the physicality and the energy he brings, so I appreciate that. Other than those 2 guys, I don't have a single nice thing to say about anybody on this defense. Nobody else. 2 guys out of 11 out there, plus the backups. 2 guys. Missed tackles. There had to have been 16 missed tackles. The run game, the backup running back, Josh Jacobs didn't have like a crazy first half. We had the Packers in check on offense in the first half, especially in the run game. Josh Jacobs didn't get going. Had a bit better of a second half. Emmanuel Wilson broke a lot of tackles. He's kind of their more of a power guy, but he's got some speed to him as well. Brought a lot of energy. Got 5.5 a carry, I think, in the second half especially. He led the way, and they got better running the ball. But overall, missed tackles were a big thing. Deshaun Elliott couldn't locate the ball in the air. There was a 3rd down that led to a 60-yard play that got the Packers a touchdown, and then got hurt on that same play. He couldn't locate the ball, missed the tackle on Kraft, and then either Chuck Clark or Juan Thornhill, I think it was Thornhill, missed the tackle twice on Kraft on the same play, and then Elliott got his ankle rolled up on, so he's hurt. Not a guy you want to miss out on, even though his game tonight was not good. He had a bad game tonight, but he's still one of the better overall players on this defense, and he's been one of the more consistent guys this year. So you don't want to lose him, but it didn't look very good at first on that ankle. So we'll see if it's just a sprain or what it is, but he went out. So he missed a tackle tonight. Chuck Clark and Juan Thornhill missed a bunch of tackles. As far as notes for the defense, aside from what I just said, as far as no splash plays and a bunch of missed tackles, I wrote down Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott, Juan Thornhill, Chuck Clark, Patrick Queen, Keanu Benton, Brandon Eccles. Terrible. All minuses. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Eccles came in and played terrible on coverage, was getting lost back there. Slay had an extra touchdown given up that Jordan Love missed on a wide open play. I think it was Matthew Golden, the rookie from Texas. He was on a little dig route, kind of came in the middle, sat down in the zone. Slay faded back on some kind of goal line man coverage. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but the score should have been worse than it was because he missed that play too. Slay terrible in coverage. Thornhill he can't cover anybody. Chuck Clark is always behind the play. He's looking a bit slow these days. Patrick Queen, very ineffective today. Keanu Benton had one tackle the whole game. Where is this guy? I've been a big Keanu Benton guy up until this season. I have been beating the drum for more opportunities for him, and he's come and been effective. I've been correct in the past. Benton has been nowhere this season. He's had a terrible season. Derek Harmon, I didn't write his name down because he wasn't egregious. He had 2 tackles tonight. Where is he? For being a first-round pick, I understand that he's a rookie and that he missed the first, 4 games, so he's still kind of on his first set of games in his career. He's brand new. I get it, but he's invisible. He has, 1 sack, I think? Maybe 2, but he's been relatively invisible besides those 1 or 2 splash plays for the whole year. I mean, it's been terrible. It's overall just, again, the scheme is bad. The lack of splash plays is bad. The lack of pressures is bad. The coverage is bad. You can't do zone. You can't do man. 20 consecutive completions. Better running game for the Packers. They just beat our asses. Biggest star of this game is Chris Boswell. 4 of 4 on field goals, including 3 over 50 yards. He's the most dependable kicker in the world, especially on our shitty-ass turf, which wasn't as bad today as it was last week. Thankfully, he didn't blow out his freaking quad last week because our field sucked. 4 of 4, 350-plus yarders. Boswell's the star of the game. Thank you, Boz. Corliss Waitman, 4 punts for 194 yards. That is a 48.5 yards per punt average. One of those 4 inside the 20. Very nice day for Waitman as well. Special teams overall for Pittsburgh's pretty good. Gainwell had a couple good returns too. Nothing special out of Keyshawn Williams the last 2 weeks. He had a very good debut week returning. Nothing special since then. So Pittsburgh goes and loses 2 in a row by virtue of really bad defense. Falls to 4-3, and it's not going to get much easier because next Sunday we got the hottest team in the NFL right now, the Daniel Jones-led Colts. If you would have told me the Daniel Jones-led Colts would be the hottest team in the league right now, I would have said you were drinking too much pumpkin beer. But Daniel Jones is on fire. He's an MVP candidate. Jonathan Taylor's on fire. They've got 4 really solid wide receivers. They've got a rookie tight end who's a stud. The line is blocking pretty well. The defense is playing their best ball in several years. We've got a big challenge ahead with a very big offense next week, so we'll see what happens. To make matters more intense, I'll be at the game next week, so I don't know how soon my review will come in. I'll be at the stadium. Obviously, there's going to be a big delay with traffic and everything. It's going to take us quite a bit of time after the game, and I don't know if there's going to be any post-game festivities. So I will see you guys at some point, either late Sunday or early Monday, to bring you the review of my live thoughts. Hopefully, I will have enough fun live in stadium to outset any potential problems the Colts may give us. But Pittsburgh now goes to 4-3. Lamar Jackson's coming back next week for the Ravens, it looks like, and the Bengals have started to get some wins. I think they did. I think the Bengals did lose today, but the Ravens won. So, we're ahead of the division by not by all that much, considering the Bengals are getting better under Flacco and Lamar Jackson's getting back soon, and our defense looks as porous as SpongeBob SquarePants. So we'll see how the future looks, but right now it's not looking too great. Pittsburgh's 4-3. Who impressed you and who did not? Tell me in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe these Pittsburgh Steelers deep dives if you like to see them. I'll bring you guys again mine next week after I come back from the game. Hopefully if we lose, I get drunk on $15 stadium beer. Take care, guys. Go Steelers. It's looking dim right now.